Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
I'm Lita Leapins.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, with Jim, we're here at Brown's Social House, right in the Queen Elizabeth Theatre Plaza.
That's right, brand new place. Come check it out. Oh, we've got so much to show you today, folks, so let's get right to
Our City Tonight. Well, we're here at Whistler Film Festival, and I am on the red carpet with one of the great actors here that is premiering her film Promised Land. Andrea, I saw the film. Wow, it's gritty, it's dark, there's a journey your character takes. Can you describe that to our audience?
Yes, it's definitely a journey. I play a character, her name is Velvet, and she is a woman, a troubled woman, who has been disadvantaged since her young age, and she happens to be a prostitute, which is a byproduct of her background, I think, that will be revealed in the film. And the role was very important to me because I wanted to give a voice to people like her who've had background, maybe were kidnapped or had some traumatic past, and perhaps because of that they took a path that is not so stereotypical, and maybe they end up as a prostitute, because I think that especially in Vancouver, but in all major cities, we do have a lot of people that live on the street or work on the street, and they are human beings. And
This is it's not a fantasy role. It really is dark. It's true to life. There is a lot of violence. And how did you pour yourself into this role? What did you have to be thinking about to become Velvet?
I think when I first read the script, I really thought of, okay, what can I bring in from my own life first? And then I used to travel a lot, and I lived in different cities. I knew a lot of people. I read a lot, watch a lot of films. So there were certain images that kind of came to my mind, and I used those. And then I just kind of carved her and created her. It was a bit of a process. Yeah. And for the violent scenes, I just try to be really truthful of how would a woman feel in those situations, and how can I most authentically portray someone who is in that kind of situation, because I wanted people to kind of see not necessarily what it looks like, but what is she going through in her face and her expression, and I think you can probably see that in the film.
Mm-hmm. We did, and you become a survivor, not just a victim. Yeah. Your strength comes out, which for women, we love to see that. That's really incredible. Now, you're a musician, you are a international model, and as well as an actor, which you've thrown in to be an actor completely now. And I read that you, not until about 8 years ago, did you really, really throw yourself into this, and you're making some big headway. How did you make that decision?
I think I always wanted to be an actor, but because I was an immigrant, it took a while for me to actually speak sufficient English to be able to pursue the career. And I had opportunities to go travel and be a model, which I thought it was great for personal growth and for exposure and getting to know people. And then when I finally spoke enough English, I just thought, I'm gonna study. And I studied in Toronto and Montreal, and then slowly relocated myself back to Vancouver. And I thought, if I give this a try, it must be 100%. That's the only way, because that's the only way to do something, I think, in my world.
I agree. And wouldn't you love to have that acting coach see you now?
Yes, I would. I'm sure he has. I think he has.
Do you forgive him?
I forgive him. I forgive everyone. I don't think, to hold a grudge, it's bad for me, or it's bad for people. So I forgive him, and if I see him here, I'll probably come up to him and I'll say, hi, it's me, and maybe you remember me from when I was 18, and here I am, and I'm very happy that you said that to me, because it kind of gave me this fuel to actually pursue what I really wanted to do.
Well, the biggest geniuses have had somebody in their life say you can't do it, and they've gone and done it anyway. So congratulations on your debut, and absolutely great movie. Thanks for spending some time with Our City Tonight.
Thank you.
We're here to talk to a guy whose resume is pretty scary when you look at how much work you've done. Local actor, but internationally known actor. It's Alex Ponte who joins us. Good to see you again, pal. You're just off a flight from Mexico, where I'm happy to hear that you took some time off.
Yeah, it's well-deserved time off with friends and family, and that's the biggest thing that matters to me, and so it was great to spend that time with them.
I'm surprised you have time, because I've known you a long time, but I was looking at your resume last night just to see what you've really been up to. You work a lot.
I've been really fortunate, man. Like, I mean, everything that has been going on in Vancouver and abroad, I've been really lucky with, but it's a testament to Vancouver, really, to really get in the production.
I think you're right, and I like talking to actors such as yourself who have been part of the landscape for a while. You were making your way through here in 2001.
Yeah.
Tell why you stayed. What happened there?
Well, yeah, I was on my way from Winnipeg, which is my hometown, and I was on my way to Los Angeles, and I stopped here, stayed with a friend, wanted to take some classes, and then go on to Los Angeles, and then 9/11 happened, which kept me here because they wouldn't allow anybody going over on a visitor's visa or anything. And I just think that's the way the cards played out, and everything's been pretty great.
You, for people that watch television, stream, you were in a number of very popular things. Of course, Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Can you just give me a breakdown of what you've been doing the last 3 or 4 years? Because people are looking at you going, I know this guy.
Right.
Because, as I said, you've done a lot of TV and film work.
Yeah.
You're lucky where you can jump back between the two.
I'm really fortunate, and again, it's thanks to Van Helsing, which has been just one of the best experiences of my career.
Yeah.
We're about to go into our 5th and final season. Sci-Fi's letting us wrap it up, which is always
that's
exciting,
always wonderful,
as opposed to ending on not being renewed or something. And so that has been my focal point for the last 5 years, because not only do I love the show, but I love the people on the show.
I'm sure you would agree, you've probably noticed over the last 15, 18, 20 years you've been around, is seeing that local actors and Canadian actors are getting a bigger piece of the pie, getting more opportunity than they did, say, 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest ones that pushed us through there was Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Because they cast Vancouver actors for extremely pivotal roles, and they went on to have international success. And Michael Reimer, who was the showrunner and director of the show, he was the one that said, these are talented actors here. We don't need to go to Los Angeles. Let's cast them here. And then everyone just started.
It's because we've always had great crews.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be
fantastic.
I got to run through some stuff here. Of course, Volition was at recent Whistler Film Festival. Give us your thoughts. Give me a couple sentences on each one. I'm going to run through a bunch of stuff.
You know what? It was such an amazing thing to shoot, because Tony Dean Smith offered me the role along with John Cassini, Frank Cassini, Adrian Glenn, and Magna, like everybody that got together with that, and I still haven't seen it. Every time it's screened, I was out of town, so I still haven't seen it. So I'm hoping to see it very soon at a festival.
Short film 2018 you're very proud of, called The Shipment.
Yeah, The Shipment is something I'm extremely proud of, because Bobby Bala directed it and funded it, and it became this very deep space story of father-daughter, but just the computer graphics and the CG. It's almost $1 million short film that got recognized in Tribeca and all over the world. So Tribeca was quite an exciting experience to go with a film that you're so passionate about.
Let's talk. You got a lot in post-production right now. You're not slowing down at all. Tell me about the movie Chained, which is, you've called it most difficult but most rewarding.
Job. Titus Heckel is the director-writer of it, and when I saw the audition, I was busy running around doing a bunch of stuff, and I haven't had time to put the energy into auditions, so I've been passing a lot. And this came across my desk, and I was just like, this is just phenomenal. Just doing the audition, I was happy, because it got my artist back out. And so I saw it, I studied it, I got coaching for it, and did the audition, and I was good walking away. And then I was fortunate enough that they really wanted me a part of it, and it became something extremely special, but extremely difficult.
Just quickly, you've got Snowpiercer as in pre-production, Planes of Snow.
Snowpiercer's happening right now.
It's happening right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we shot the first season. They haven't aired it yet.
Yeah.
So the first season is shot. We're shooting the second season right now, and then it will premiere on TBS, I think around June during the NBA playoffs, to give it a big push.
Very nice. One last thing I want to ask you before we wrap up.
Yeah.
I love it when guys, gals, actors, actresses go away, come back, and pay it forward. And you're from Winnipeg. You're doing something. Tell our viewers just quickly what you're really excited about. You're doing in your hometown.
I'm a part of this great group of people trying to push through this film studio in Manitoba. There is not a lot of infrastructure, but they have the best tax credit.
In North America.
In North America. And
yeah.
so our biggest thing that has been something that's been a mentor to us has been what Tyler Perry has done with Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And he's from Atlanta, and he made that happen, and the tax credit was a big help. So we have some great people. Adam Beach is attached to it. Tyler Weiss, who won a bunch of Emmys for Game of Thrones, and federal and provincial support. We're just really excited, and 2020 I think is going to be a big year for us.
Always working and a good guy. Alex Ponte just got back. God, he's a very, very big man. Very big. Actor, producer, and a guy who gives back here at Brown's Social House. Look for him all over TV and streaming in 2020. This Inside Real Estate segment is brought to you by Team Kerr. Real estate advice for life. Well, we're inside a beautiful home on 39th Avenue in the heart of Kerrsdale. If you're watching in the rest of the country, that's just a little bit outside of Vancouver. Time for another Inside Real Estate segment with our real estate expert, Matt Kerr from Team Kerr and Stillhaven. Matt, thank you, first of all, for welcoming to this very beautiful property here today. I'd like to ask you, about properties in this category, and also talk a little bit about properties that are being built. The land is being purchased and they're putting up new homes, because this home we're in right now is pretty spectacular, but it's brand new. So tell us about high-end properties and how that is trending.
Yeah, okay, so the high-end being like $3 million and above, let's call it, okay, just for a reference point on that. Now, we've been seeing it actually quite balanced. Now, the media has been sort of jumping on things and grabbing in certain pockets and saying, you know, the market is free falling and things like that. However, depending on where you're looking and where you're potentially buying or selling, it really depends. So in Kerrsdale, at this level, above $3 million, it's just a soft buyer's market, or it's actually a balanced market. And what a balanced market is equal pressure between the buyers and the sellers. Right. Sellers can sell, buyers can buy. And it's usually quite a smooth, it's actually my favorite market, is the balanced market. So everybody is educated and everything rolls quite nicely. So that's kind of a nice place where we are as we go into the spring market. So there are some opportunities. Now this, a little bit to your second question, is that the current inventory, and this is sort of Vancouver-wide, especially in the detached homes like the one we're sitting in, there aren't a lot of good properties on the market right now. Okay, and the current volume of buyers doesn't have a lot of an appetite in terms of doing a big renovation or spending six figures into a house to do a full
renovate. Yeah, sure, okay.
To do a complete reno. So it's really a curious time. So now we're just in the spring market, February, when we're shooting this, and as we're in the spring market, we've seen the transactions drop off. Right. Okay, and we've seen the inventory grow, and in some places, depending where you're interested in, it's quite significant. But what we feel in Stillhaven Real Estate Services, my team and my partners, is that we're seeing a lot of the good properties sell, and it kind of leaves the B properties on the market. So we feel that the buyers are really looking for their gems. So when you have a gem, I've got a gem. We're sitting in a nice gem right here. This is the type of property that most people are looking for. And so yeah, it's like move-in ready.
Every time we have you on the show, I always want to make sure we get this in, and that's about what are you seeing right now? What can we expect? You talked about spring. Let's talk spring and heading into the summer. What is catching your expert eye?
Well, basically that in a lot of ways. Okay, so in this level of property, we're just seeing the ones that are sitting on the market now. Okay. No crystal ball, okay?
No, there's never a crystal ball, but you're the expert, so.
However, this is, we feel, or I feel that what's gonna happen is we're gonna see more properties coming on the market over time, over the next few months. And we always say this is as the grass grows, meaning that as we get to the warmer months, so does the market. Yeah, right. Meaning that better properties come on and the buyers have better options, or more options, I should say, and they get rolling. So I am quite confident that's going to happen. Now here's the trick. Here's the asterisk to what I've just said. Last year, spring, we expected a busy spring. No, the whole market expected a busy spring, and it wasn't. It was pretty quiet. Okay. We had a very busy fall. Okay. Now, the one thing about the fall is that we had like busy fall into December.
Right.
Okay, now January was actually not bad either, but will it continue? It's really hard to say what's going to happen. So talk to your real estate expert. Make sure you're on the pulse if you're interested in buying and selling. If you're a seller or considering selling and you have a nice property, like you don't have very much competition right now. So yeah,
Good to know. Very
which
nice.
is pretty nice. Like what I said, the gems are the ones that fly fast. We're seeing multiple offers. The lower end properties, meaning that under $1 million, or the entry level, I shouldn't say low end, the entry level is pretty hot. You know, like we're seeing multiple offers.
Right.
And I'll give you an example. In my last couple of sales, all went into multiple offers. I had one get upwards of 21 offers.
Oy, wow.
So at this level, that's not a balanced market. That'd be considered a full seller's market. But this, you know, in this level of property above $3 million, you're seeing this balanced market. And hopefully it will continue, maybe even get a little bit warmer as we so does the weather, you know?
Where can they find your website?
Yeah, teamkerr.ca is our personal website. Or if you want to look at the brokerage, Stillhaven Real Estate Services, so it'd be stillhaven.com. That's our brokerage website.
STILHAVN. Look that up. Always good to talk to our real estate expert. It's Matt Kerr from Team Kerr, and as he mentioned, Stillhaven. It's inside real estate in a beautiful property here in Kerrsdale. This Inside Real Estate segment was brought to you by Team Kerr. Real estate advice for life. Well, we find ourselves at one of our favorite watering holes. It's Brown's Social House here in the Queen Elizabeth Plaza right next to the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. The woman to my left, your right at home, is a woman we see a lot, actually, because we film a lot at night, and she seems to be often DJing the events that we film. It's local DJ sensation, DJ Chloe.
Hi, thanks for having me.
DJ introduction there, wasn't it?
Now, Chloe, the first time I saw you was at the Vancouver Aquarium. There was a great event there. You had the jellyfish behind you, and it was really mesmerizing. I remember taking a picture of you, and then since then I've seen you at so many great events.
Right.
What I've noticed is there's a lot of women DJs out. Why is that? It used to be predominantly men.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was very dominated by men. Even as I was training, my trainer actually said to me it was a male-dominating industry. And so I think with women stepping up to the table, we brought something obviously more feminine, more unique, a little bit more sophisticated. Not that the men can't be that way, but we have a slight feminine touch for sure. And for myself, I sing and DJ, so that brought another element into it as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, back in my pioneer days when I was DJing in clubs, the stuff you guys do now, it just wasn't even a thought in our day in terms of creating your own music, singing. Whether you're male or female, you still have to have your finger on the pulse. You've got to know what's going on. You've got to know what's hip. You've got to be able to go back. We've heard you DJ. You'll play something brand new, but then we'll hear you play something from the 70s or 80s, old school. Talk a bit about what London, where you're from, what did you bring from there to here?
Absolutely. I definitely think the culture, for sure, there's a lot stronger culture out there just because obviously the history, there's a lot longer standing history out there. And the music scene out there is super cool. So I think I've definitely brought that side of myself over. And like you say, you know, I was born actually in the 80s, so I listened to, you know, all kinds of 80s music growing up. And, you know, my house is flooded with funk and soul. And, you know, and I love like top 40 music now, so I sort of infuse everything together, and that's kind of where the sound came from.
And so, getting into this whole career as a DJ, is there something like a DJ school that people can go to?
Yeah, there is. There's a place called Table Tutors. It's in Royal Oak, by Royal Oak there. That's where I actually trained. And recently I've actually stepping out this year and will be teaching some of my own classes.
Oh, wonderful.
As well as making my own music as well. So there's going to be a lot of next level stuff coming this way.
Exciting.
Very nice. Where can people find out more about you, where you're playing, and where they can get you to play for them?
Absolutely. You can always go to my website, chloemorganmusic.com, or the social networks. You can go to Instagram, Chloe M Music. or Facebook Chloe Morgan Music.
Perfect.
So yeah.
It's actually nice to see you in the daylight hours for once. It's
Absolutely.
always
You
in the
get to
evening.
see
That's right.
what it really looks like.
And you're a new mom. Congratulations.
I am.
Wonderful,
I am.
wonderful news.
Thank you.
That's actually, well, we want to thank DJ Chloe and Lita, and I want to thank all the gang here at Brown Social House for welcoming us here. Check this new place out at the Queen Elizabeth Plaza right next to the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. Well, it's time to head to the Medical Rejuvenation Center on Georgia Street in downtown Vancouver, where our expert, Dr. Robert Bob Morell, is with Lita right now. Lita.
Thanks, Jim. Well, we're going to do something a little bit different than we've ever done on any of our segments with Dr. Bob, and that is field questions from your patients. First question is from Douglas.
Well, I have a couple of questions. I've been seeing Dr. Morell for some time now. And suddenly I've noticed that I have a bit of a double chin. And I was wondering, is there something that can be done about that? I mean, I want to be my best at all times, and if there is something that can be done, I'd like to know about it.
Great question, Douglas. I get this question a lot. Both female and males have a problem with submental fat pads, which are unattractive to them, and they like to see something done with it. Here at the clinic at MRC, we've got two permanent treatments for it. One is Belcara, which is an acid which helps dissolve the fat. It's about a half-an-hour procedure of injections, followed by 2 or 3 days of swelling, followed by resolution of 25% of the fat pad each time it's done. Second technique we use here a lot is cool sculpting, and all of our technicians have their masters with respect to use of cool sculpting. It works very well here if it fits this area and the fat pad is larger. It works very well in that area. Again, it's 25% resolution of fat, permanent resolution, no downtime.
And the next question is from Elise. Elise?
Hey, Dr. Morell, would there be a reason that my filler doesn't last as long as my friends?
Elise, again, a good question. I get that often. What is the difference of length of time that fillers last when you put them in? First of all, it depends upon the product. Some products have double bonds, last a bit longer, and some have single bonds in the product and it lasts not quite as long. And how you use or which one you use depends upon the area. Certain areas also wear the product out a lot faster. If the area is around the mouth or lower face, it's way faster than if you use it around the cheek or the temples. So the area is also important. The last is there's an enzyme in our body called hyaluronidase, and it decreases the amount of hyaluronic acid, which is what fillers are made out of, and some people have a lot of that hyaluronidase, some don't have very much. What doesn't determine it is exercise. People think that exercise burns up this product faster. It doesn't.
So the next question is from Josephine.
Hi, Dr. Morell. I have 4 daughters, and they seem to be struggling with acne, much like I did. What can we do in terms of treatments and in terms of skin line that will help them see this process through? Thank you.
This is such a serious problem, not only for teens, but also for adults. It starts at about the age of 13 and doesn't quit till sometimes into your mid-40s. And it's a problem with plugging of pores, inflammatory reactions, and possible resulting scars. The issues are depression, anxiety, and the issues of facing the world with problems with your face that you can't deal with. So we have several causes. We always start simple, using products like exfoliants and retinols, and move into the more elaborate procedures like mesobotox and aminolevulinic acid, which both work to dry up the pores and dry up the sebaceous glands that cause the oil. No oil, no acne.
Now the last question we have is from Wendy.
I was just wondering about getting a cool sculpt and if there was any downtime.
Wendy, on the same day that you do your cool sculpting, you can carry on with the rest of your life. Go for lunch, go for exercise. There is no specific downtime. There's a procedure which takes 3/4 of an hour. You get up, you leave the table, and it's totally done. The activity of the cool sculpting destroys the fat in that area that's treated, whether it's upper or lower abdomen or thighs or inner thighs, and it'll occur over the next couple of weeks, and gradually you lose 25% of the fat, and it's gone permanently.
So for more information on these great treatments, please go to the website, and thanks again.
Thank you. Thanks, Lita.
Well, it's TV magic. Dr. Bob has stepped out. I have stepped into his seat. Lita, we have got a great giveaway for our viewers. What can several people win?
Well, courtesy of Medical Rejuvenation Center, we have 2 prize packs to get your skin spring ready. We have number 1 is the 3-step solution for anti-aging. That's the vitamin C serum, retinol serum, and moisturizer, all at a value of just under $200. The next prize pack is a 3-step solution for dark spots. So depending on your concerns with skin, this includes vitamin C serum, brightener serum, and SPF 35, all just under $200. These great prize packs. How can you win, Jim?
Well, I'll tell you what, folks. Go to, of course, on Instagram and Facebook. Go to Our City Tonight, but also on Instagram, go to Jim Gordon TV or Life with Lita. Check all 3 of those out. Just send us a message through that or our names and, of course, Our City Tonight on Facebook. And for the people in the Vancouver area, if you're one of the winners and you come to Medical Rejuvenation Center on West Georgia, they'll throw in a free consultation. That's how much fun this prize package is, Lita.
Good luck.
Well, we are here at the Brown Social House next to the Queen Elizabeth Theatre in the Queen Elizabeth Plaza. We were here earlier in the show, but we're back here to end the show. Now, Lita and I don't often end the show with somebody else in the frame. It's not an ego thing. It's Lita and I at the end. But there's a reason we have DJ Chloe, who we had on the show earlier, here at the ending. We want to thank you because you did a lot of the music for our show today.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
My pleasure.
And we're going to play something that you actually have at the end of the show where you got some vocals. How long have you been singing?
Oh, I've been on stage since I was 5 years old.
Nice.
Singing, yeah.
One more time, give your website for our viewers at home.
Absolutely. ChloeMorganMusic.com, or find me on Chloe M Music on my social networks.
Very nice. She did the music for today's show. I'm Jim Gordon.
I'm Lita Liepens.
We will see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
Sponsorship for the Health and Wellness segment is provided by Anorex Botanicals Limited.
Inside Real Estate segments are brought to you by Team Kerr, real estate advice for life. Outdoor wear for Jim and Lita provided by Helly Hansen, alive since 1877.
Some of my clothing has been provided by Blushing Boutique, located in downtown Vancouver and online. Youngblood Mineral Cosmetics provided by Soluzione Spa Products.